Okay, so we've kind of gone through that. People have problems. People think about how they make decisions. How do we build how do we build an email that goes through that consumer behavior model I just showed you? The next thing we're looking at is, how do we grow a list? Because I need to have people to mail to if I'm going to try to do an email campaign, right? So I'm going to walk you through a few ideas to do that. One is, and this is so obvious, right? Your content, what you have to say, the way that you present it should be great. Remember we talked about pass-along readership with advertising and magazines? We talked about the fact that emails are infinitely forwardable to all sorts of people. If your stuff is awesome, if it's really great, you'll get that pass-along. If it sucks, who's going to pass it? Who's even going to open it, right? Segment your list. What do I mean? What do you think I mean by segment your list? And then write targeted content. What does that feel like?
That you have to write emails to certain kind of people. You can't send the same email to everyone.
Right. So, for instance, I've got property owners. I've got tenant or property management companies on that list. I've got real estate brokerage companies on that list. The kinds of people who make decisions there's at least 3 on our list. And each of them might be thinking about a purchase decision to work with a construction company in a slightly different way. So this was our first one out. So we kind of sent out a general kind of a thing. Today I had a meeting with my client, and I said, for this next one, I really want to focus deep on one of these groups. And the people that I think we want to focus in right now are home association managers. The people who because they're thinking about, dry rot in the wood, maybe because it's been a wet season, so maybe they've got, moisture deterioration, maybe they've got termites, maybe they've had dry rot for years, whatever. What have you got in your portfolio in past projects that we can speak to? And this next mailing, we're going to segment, and we're going to mail it to everybody, because you never know. Some people might find value in that, even though we're not really truly thinking about them. But we're really designing what we're talking to one particular group of people in that mailing, okay? So segment it, and then write targeted content. Promote social sharing. Remember we talked about that advocacy thing? And we said that the more people who pass it along, word of mouth marketing and how powerful that is, way more believable than if I'm the advertiser and I own the company and I want you to buy from me. My stuff might be horrible, but I'm going to tell you to buy it all day long, right? Because that's all I have to sell you. But somebody else who really cares about you will never do that. You can trust them, right? So promote social sharing. Link your email signature line to a registration page, like I talked about. Create promotions that require an email address submission to enter. Let's say, hey, you know what? This week only, we're giving away free hammers. It could be something that a company like this might do. Hey, I like a free hammer, Cool. Well, if you give us your email address today on my autoresponder here in my newsletter form, then I'll enter you to win a box of hammers, or whatever it is. I'm making this up, but you see the point, right? And that's how people do this. Promote via your social media presence. So this newsletter, through constant contact, we can actually post the newsletters to your Facebook feed, to your Twitter, I think you can go to Instagram. LinkedIn, not right? Instagram. Not Instagram. So LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter can get that newsletter. Okay? So that's pretty amazing, because now all of the people who have ever liked your page can see it too. And you probably don't have all their email addresses, but that's a pretty neat thing, right? Text campaigns. So not only, so they've received your email, you've got, and now maybe what you do is say, give us your mobile number, and we'll enter you to win a trip for 2 to Baja, or maybe to Baja Fresh. Certainly a lot cheaper, right? Either way. But now, once you have that, then you can begin to co-promote, not just via your newsletter or your website or your social, but also on people's cell phones. There's some great services out there that do that too. How many of you guys regularly network? A couple of you? 3? How many of you have small businesses? Okay, every single hand that just went up should have just gone up a second ago. If you have a small business, you need to be networking. Networking is your distribution model. If you're not on the shelf, no one can buy your product. Right? And being on the shelf is being around where people can see and kick the tires and get to see what's inside here through conversation. Right? That's why networking is so critical. You've also got, so here's ways you can do it. Associations, chambers, nonprofits, trade events, speaking opportunities. I stage one every month for myself.